Yes. Greetings, everyone, and welcome to the Cornerstone Voice. Today, we are highlighting one of my very own, Caprice Piper, my daughter, as she is a small business owner. And what we're going to talk about today is who's who in your community. Do you know your small business entrepreneur? And the great things that they are doing in your community. So today we are spotlighting Caprice Piper from Prince Williams County in Virginia. So welcome, Caprice, to the Cornerstone Voice, darling.
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you so much for having me today. I'm super excited to talk to you today and share more about myself and my journey as an entrepreneur.
Yes,
Thank you so much
darling.
for having
This
me.
is my daughter, everyone, and I am super proud as a pop my collar, pop, pop, black girl clap. Yes.
Yes,
She knows
yes.
I am a handful. But look, Caprice has really taken the Prince William area, the Prince William County area by storm. However, it didn't happen overnight. This was a process. And I'm super glad that she has taken the time out to, share a little bit. She has been on just like all the major news program being honored, showing off the great work that her organization is doing. And I just can't keep up with her. She is just really blowing it up. And it's a great thing to see that Divine Inspirational Inc. is doing wonderful things with children of color in the area. So,
Right.
Caprice, again, welcome, 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 welcome. And just share a little bit about your personal experience as being a young woman growing up and getting into your passion.
Yes. So, my passion was really for the arts, cultivated as a young girl. Um I've always had the natural passion for dance, singing, even though that's not really my thing, but I would still love to do it. Being on stage, like I never ever shied away from the spotlight. So I knew I was put here on this earth to do something great. Even at night, my mom don't even know this. At night, she knows I will always been a night owl, because I could never wake up in the morning on time. But any case, that's only because what she didn't know is a lot of times I would just stare up in the sky and just gaze up at the stars. And so, I just really fell in love with the arts, honestly and truly, when the first time I was able to take the stage, and that was in elementary school. We had a talent show, and I took it upon myself to start a little group. And we practiced at recess, and I made sure that my little dance group, we practiced every recess. It was practice time, and you were not to be on the slide, the swings, the anywhere else but in that little corner under the tree for practice. and so, and so that's where Coach Caprice was really cultivating. Like it started there up under that tree in the schoolyards at Jefferson Houston Elementary School in the city of Alexandria. But from there, I never, just shied away from any opportunity to dance and sing at my local Boys and Girls Club in Alexandria, Charles Houston Community Center, the Durant Center. Um, I was just, I just took advantage of everything that I could, and so actually when I started high school is when I really had the opportunity to really dance. And back in middle school, I tried out for my middle school cheerleading team, and I just knew I was the best. Still to this day, I know that I was that was trying out for cheer, but for whatever reason, they didn't find me suitable to be a cheerleader. But that was only because, God was pushing me in a whole different direction. And so the lesson that I learned there is that, when God closes one door, know that he's going to open another one. And when you think that, there is a issue or challenge ahead of you or in front of you, oh, that just may be God's way of trying to divert your attention to another direction. And that lesson I have taken with me throughout the years, and still to this day is something that I live by. And so, when I didn't make the cheerleading squad, I went to one of the teachers and proposed an idea of a dance team. And it went over well. And even after many years after leaving, they still had that dance team established. So when I graduated and went from middle school to high school, I actually in eighth grade I auditioned for the high school dance ensemble, and I made it. So I was actually in one of the first eighth graders dancing with the high school team. And I fell in love with the style of majorette dance. And it's really similar to it's what you see at like HBCU college band dance line style of dancers. It's called majorette. So it's not your typical majorette where you got the baton twirler. It's not that. It's the HBCU style majorette dancers. So I fell in love with it. And so when I came here to Prince William County, um, I had at this time I had started a family. I was married, and I had multiples, and both my girls were super interested in dance and cheer and all those type of things. But again, being a mom of multiples, and just in the times we live in, it was important for me to find something that was affordable for me, right? So when I looked around, I'm like, all these dance studios are too pricey. It's outrageous. And then, my daughter, being a child of color, was usually either one of three or two, other children of color. So it just made for an uncomfortable situation. Even though my daughter was always a great dancer, never similar to me, never shied away from the spotlight. Still it was just that sense of needing something, a place where, her instructors and her teachers was a reflection of
Yes.
her. She could see herself
Yes,
in,
I think it's
right? So
important.
for
I
me,
think that's very important to have,
yeah, go ahead.
and because the areas has changed since you were a kid. So we were very, very tight knit. Alexandria was a very, very tight knit community, and everybody knew
That too, yeah.
everybody, and everybody wanted to. It was just a giving, loving community, a serving community towards the African American family. And so what
Yeah,
you got to experience was something that a lot of kids don't get to experience today. And so
exactly.
we talked about, you kind of talked about, well, you did talk about how how your organization got created, and why it got
Mhm.
created. And it's been established since 2015, and that you
That's right.
also have again had given the girls experience and exposures to participate with the Washington football cheerleading team. They've been in the cherry
Mhm.
blossom parade.
Yeah.
Um, the what's the one in Leesburg, Virginia? There was another one that I can't think of, the cherry blossom or something like that.
So,
I don't know.
yeah, well, the National Cherry Blossom Parade is one of the big ones that takes place in Washington D.C. Every year. Actually, obviously pre-COVID. And as you mentioned, we've given offered opportunities to dance the
Yes.
halftime show, halftime show for the Washington Redskins cheerleaders. They've been featured on News Channel 4. as a Harris Hero recipient. I was interviewed by Leon Harris, which is a award-winning journalist, and I was offered the opportunity to bring along with me with that interview several of my students. So I was able to give them an opportunity to have this experience of not only being interviewed, also be able to showcase their skills during that segment. And in addition to that, we went live on News Channel 4 on a segment called Let's Talk Live with Julie
Mm-hmm.
Wright. And so, yeah, we those type of opportunities, we give our young ladies an opportunity to have a platform to showcase their skills and give them an opportunity that otherwise they wouldn't have.
Yes. So, excuse me. What is one of the components? Let's kind of shift gears a little bit and talk about building your nonprofit, building Divine Inspiration Inc. as a nonprofit. So, I know that, like I said, a lot of times women come to me with, they got great ideas, they've already started it, but they never start with a good foundation. And what I always say, the foundation is really doing research and research about what you want to do, how you want to do it, how's it supposed to look, how are you going to get funded. Those things are important to have in place. What is your volunteering going to look like? What is your board going to look like? All of those things, because sometimes we jump out there and then we realize we need these things to actually operate properly, so that the visionary, don't try to do all the work. So what is one important component you think you missed, if any?
Yes, so definitely missed a lot. Have to be honest in saying that. But that's okay. That's okay. And I mean, because it's you know, in entrepreneurship, whether it's a nonprofit, for-profit, social enterprise, or anything else in between, you're gonna miss some things, and you're gonna make mistakes, but that's okay for as long as you learn from those mistakes. So I would definitely agree that having a strong foundation before you just jump out there is one thing that is necessary for any type of business. For myself, I would think that would be one thing when I say building a foundation. For me, if I could take when I started the organization, wish I would have took time to build a team, a support team, because as you mentioned, you find yourself doing everything, and what is called, so it's called like CEO, is chief everything officer. And you find yourself being chief everything officer for a long time, and then and then you kind of get on this crazy cycle of finding yourself working so much in the business that you're not working on your business. And so for so many years, I found myself doing it all. And that would be from teaching my classes to being the person that transported children to and from, because parents would need a pickup or a drop off. I was the cafeteria worker that made sure that everyone was well fed. I was the cleaner, I was maintenance and janitorials.
Mhm.
There was a spill, I had to clean up. And then when I finally got my studio, even more so, I was spending several hours after classes cleaning bathrooms on the weekends. And so had I gone into it with a team, even if it's just, people say you shouldn't mix, you shouldn't have too many of your family members involved in your business. Well, I would say when you're first starting out, use those that are supportive of your dream and of your vision. You have to use those around you that's willing to give their time, because obviously as a startup, you're lacking funds, or and in the in the normal or average situation, you lack funds. So you want to be able to tap into those that are around you to support you, and that's going to help propel you until you're able to be in a place where you can afford to hire individuals to take on those necessary components of your business.
Yeah. So what would you say is some of the myths about entrepreneur that a lot of people say, oh, entrepreneur
Yeah.
is so fantastic, so glamorous, so you have the best life ever.
Yeah, so one myth, like people say, I hear a lot overnight success. Well, for me, I don't believe in overnight success. It's just like when a video goes viral, of someone singing, you don't know hundreds of other videos that person may have put out, and they were, you know, they were committed to creating videos and content every day, but just one took off, and that's the one that you were able to see. And so they're overnight success, or just in the general sense, overnight success, where you don't really know how far that person has come, and the trials and tribulations that person has gone through to get where they are. Even Amazon, Amazon, billion dollar business, but they started in a garage. And they started in the garage just selling uh books, just like books. So it was like a book service, and then they went from books to like CDs, and then it kind of just grew from there. So a lot of people may think that Amazon just all of a sudden just blew up, and now everybody is like a household name, but it didn't start that way. And
Yeah.
so that is definitely one thing, I would say, as far as, to kind of bust that myth, is it takes a lot of hard work, dedication. Entrepreneurship is an emotional roller coaster. When I moved down here to Prince William County, I didn't really know many people. I mean, I had family here. But as far as building a business and a network, I had to build that. I had to build that, and that took time, and that's the things that people don't get to see, you know.
Absolutely, because um, the thing is that people look at you now. You've been on, like I said, several television programs. You've been awarded and honored in so many other um, organizations in the last couple of years, and the list keeps growing and growing. And so it looks like that you have shot straight up to the top, but it has been a struggle from trying to find a place to host your
Mm,
your um your daily services, to
yeah.
moving, finding a permanent space, so money going
Oh man.
out all the time,
Yes.
and
Yes.
having to house the equipment that you use, the costumes and all of that stuff.
Yes.
And people don't realize that all of that goes with it. But when they
Yeah.
see you on the news, and they see you again on the news, and they see you getting this award, this accomplishment, that being acknowledged here and being acknowledged there, like, wow, she blew up. It's like
Yeah.
overnight. I didn't know about her, but like the people who didn't know about you see that, think that it just happened overnight, and we know that nothing happens overnight, and that entrepreneur is not
Nothing.
glamorous, because a lot of times you don't sleep.
Yes, there is a lack of sleep. Like, yeah, this one, like even right now, this is, I just having a moment to kind of just breathe and just talk is a good thing. It's been nonstop for me in the last couple of weeks. We are preparing for the grand opening of our new location, which would be um, at the Potomac Mills Outlet Shopping Center Mall in Woodbridge. And so Um, Even though I am elated to embark on this new journey and open the doors to my new Center for the Arts, quite frankly, it is a huge undertaking and I am exhausted.
Yes.
um, but it's all well worth it because it's what I love to do. I enjoy it. I truly know why God put me here on this planet in the first place. And so because of that, that's what, keeps me motivated and and keeps me going. But I have to totally agree with you, especially in the midst of COVID. It tested a lot of entrepreneurs. Just their faith and their commitment to what they started out doing, as far as in a lot of, that's why a lot of business folded, because it really it really threw all of us off our normal game. And so we had to a lot of us had to stand together and band together, share ideas, and so yeah. But success doesn't happen overnight. But the irony of it all is that when you should that you're a success or that you're doing something right when other people think that they can do it too because you make it look so easy.
That part right there. That part right there is a myth. It isn't as easy as it looks. But
Hmm.
because you do it, what they see on the outside, you do it with such ease on the outside, they don't know what it takes on the backside.
Mm.
And
Yep.
yeah, so that is a big myth. It isn't as easy as it appears to be. So I know we talked before about mentorship. Let's just jump on that really quick. So you found a time and in your place in your organization where you felt, I guess, stagnated and needed direction. And so you found a mentorship. Tell us a little bit about the mentorship and how did it help you move further in your organization?
Yeah. So, for again, when I talked about building that team or having a team around you or building a network, I found it necessary. I don't know who or what put the thought in my mind about a mentor, but I just kind of stumbled upon what's called the Small Business Development Center in every state. Check it out. Your local state will have a small business development center, and they provide you with they connect you with a mentor that's basically very savvy in your field, and it's totally free. And I connected with a mentor that basically I can just like bounce ideas off of. They can, suggest. They can suggest to me new ways of thinking. Especially again, when COVID hit, I tapped into my mentors like it was nobody's business. I mean, everybody was sitting at home anyway, so why not? I took time to grow and educate and learn how to, do web design and how to host virtual fun. Those are the kind of things that my mentors kind of help me with. Another resource that I tapped into in terms of mentorship was it's called SCORE, and it's SCORE. It's a nonprofit organization that provides business mentorship to small business owners, and whether it be for profit or nonprofit, they connect you with business savvy individuals in your field that can help and guide you. So for me, hey, why not have several mentors that can give me, some critical feedback that's going to help me to grow my business and ultimately be successful. So if I could, provide any type of words of wisdom, I definitely would say, connect with your local small business development center SCORE, or any other free resources that is out there that can help you connect you with a mentor that's going to help you.
Absolutely. So, uh, about to come to the end. So let's talk about a couple of things. What motivates you to keep going? Because again, we know that entrepreneur is like a roller coaster. You really haven't hit that. You never really keep that high plateau. There's always some downs and some lows. So, what motivates you to continue to do what you do?
Yeah. So there's a couple of things that motivates me, and it's always, important to keep those in your mind daily, as you go, because you're gonna have some um and you're gonna have some rough days, you're gonna have some great days, you're gonna have some awesome days, and you're gonna have some days where you just want to throw in the towel and give up. Let's be
Mm-hmm.
honest. So keeping in mind what motivates you is super, super important. So the first thing that motivates me and keeps me going is just knowing that I'm doing exactly what God has called me to do. And that is what propels me when I feel like I'm at my lowest, and I've been there, because your personal sometimes, life happens, and if you're not in a right mental state, then some you just don't have the passion to get up to do that hard work and be the great entrepreneur that you were sent to be. So keeping that in mind. The second thing that motivates me is my children. Building a legacy, leaving a legacy for them. That is super important. Again, my mother that's interviewing me today was my drive and my motivation. And so and I just watched her. I mean, I watched the way she moved, and that's, again, words to mothers, especially moms, like, always know that your daughters are watching. You may not think that they are, even the times when you think they're not watching, they're watching. So it's important to be, you know, um, a great role model for your daughters. And so, but leaving a legacy behind is super important, because I know my children are watching. Just last night, funny, ironically, I was, and everybody's in virtual learning, so stay connected with your children, and get feedback on how their school day is going and what they're learning. So she was telling me, that their day was about what they want to do and what they want to be when they grow up. And she positively and confidently told me, she told her teacher, I want to be a business owner. And that just warmed my heart. um so that leaving a, the third thing that motivates me are my students. I work with all, and they motivate me. I mean, just to see the smiles on their faces. I have several young ladies that came through my program. They were like 15, 16, and now they're in their 20s, and they are back as staff members giving back. And so it's, when we talk about full circle, that is what
Mm-hmm.
full circle looks like. You have a child that comes to your program. They might be lost, bewildered. They have a passion for the arts. They want to do the arts, but their parents can't afford it. They come to your organization. They thrive. You send them off to the world, and they come right back to you to figure out how they can give back just the way you gave back to them. And so those are the three things that truly motivates me.
So, who are your role models?
So naturally, my mom, that just naturally, my mother is a role model, as I mentioned. Just watching her, give back to her community in spite of the lack of resources we had ourselves. Um, she never hesitated to give a helping hand to a child, especially a child in need. And then, it's funny because I don't necessarily have like any particular, like, a celebrity role model, but just any powerful woman that really, like Michelle Obama. And I mean, there's so many business savvy women
Right.
women. I mean, even Kamala Harris.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
It's just, just naturally, I take I take a little bit from all types of powerful
Mm-hmm.
women. And that's what, and to make my own super power, superwoman role model, you take a little bit of words of wisdom, especially now with the age of Instagram and YouTube.
Yeah.
I mean,
The social
Oprah has
media.
so many,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
Oprah has so many great, like, inspirational, like, videos she puts out there. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, just getting golden nuggets that you could just take away. So there's really no excuse
Yeah.
for people to, not live their dream,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
so
So where do you what is the vision for the organization future? The future of
yeah. So
the organization, your vision for it.
yeah, so the vision of the organization is to become a K through 12 fully accredited academy for the arts. So that is the big vision. That's what success looks like for me. I would love to have babies start off, in kindergarten, and they we watch them grow up, and we have this village, because I am a true believer that it takes a village to raise a child. And so we will be the village that keeps them from the day one to graduation, but also help them succeed by supporting them,
Mm-hmm.
so supporting the total child,
Mm-hmm.
mind, body, and spirit through the process. And yeah, that's the big vision. That's what success looks like for me.
That's great. That's great. I am really very, 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 very proud of what you have accomplished in spite of, because I've seen the back part. I think I see behind the
The
scenes,
real.
and I've seen
Yeah,
the 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 tears, the frustration, all of that. I get it because I'm
yeah,
still trying to build as well, and I have the tears and the frustration. But the great thing is we're able to come together and work together and work out ideas and stuff like that. So that's the great thing. But I'm really honored that I have been a role model, that you could see the possibilities, and that's all I ever wanted, is for my kids to see that there is possibility in life. All you have to do is hold on to that hope, hold on to that passion, and just work hard, and you will be rewarded for all your hard work.
absolutely. Yep, absolutely.
And the story is, when you were just, gosh, a month old, your father used to take your feet and move them to the music. He would play music and he would move them like dancing, and he would dance your hand. And he even tried to stand you up. And you're like, I was like, no, 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 you can't stand her up. She's not, you can't do that. You got to hold her head, kind of thing. He was just like, didn't know anything about holding babies like 2 months or anything like that. And so I used to always have to like remind him to hold your head, but he would always like move your feet and move your hands to music, because of course his family loves the dance. He comes from a family of dancers, so it is it is not surprising that you will become so passionate and love to dance, because you started off dancing at such a young age and being exposed to music and everything. Of course, I love music, so I'm not a dancer, but I love music. I'm a shaker. I'm a rump shaker. But
My mom, you love the arts, though. I
I love the
truly,
arts. Yes.
yes, the arts is just ingrained in me, on all across the board, for sure. My mother is a phenomenal artist. She, even though she loves to interview, and have conversations, um, but she truly has a gift. You guys gotta have definitely go check out some of her artwork, because it's phenomenal. And so yeah, I definitely got it, honestly, from both sides.
Yeah, Yeah, yep. I am a writer. I'm a painter, a visual artist. So, but
Author.
yes, you do. I just, yep. I just don't dance well. I'm just like I said, I'm a shaker. So I don't know. That I'm waiting to be in one of these uh grandma competitions if she has one. So I can show off some of my new moves
Oh
I
my
got. No, I'm just
gosh.
kidding.
Okay. Then your grandchildren are going to be like, oh no. Oh,
But look, this is our time, and so I want to thank you again and congratulations on your newest nomination, Phenomenal Woman.
yeah.
And I look forward to seeing you continue to grow, seeing your ministry continue to grow. And we didn't even get to talk about the not just the dance part, we didn't even get to talk about the pageantry and all the other mentoring segments that you have. But tell the people where they can find more information about your organization.
Yeah, so our website is www.sodivineinc.org, and that's SODIVINEINC.org. And we're on Instagram at So Divine Inc. And you could actually, my personal Instagram is at Coach Caprice, and that's Caprice, CAPRIECE. We're also on Facebook at So Divine Inc. Programs. And but if you go to our website, all of that information is there, as well as our telephone number to call us at our Center for the Arts, as well as our email. And I look forward to hearing from you all soon. And definitely check us out because registration is opening soon for our new Center for the Arts that's located in the Potomac Mills Mall.
Yes, so congratulations on your new location, and I'm super excited to be partnering up with you for some things.
Yay.
And yeah, we just gonna keep taking Prince Williams. We're gonna take DMV all together by surprise. All
Okay.
right
They don't know. Yes, it's coming. They just
now,
need to watch out. They're
it's
gonna watch
coming
out because we are taking them by storm for sure.
for sure. Thank you, Caprice, and have a wonderful day. And this is your host, Roberta Spate, with the Cornerstone Voice. Be ready for our next week's interview as we talk about the um yeah, we're gonna cut that part out.
Okay.
But yeah, welcome. Good night. Remember the Cornerstone Voice where you matter. Peace out.